Okay, this UFO nonsense is going from bad to worse. Now, this is from News Nation. Senator Burchett claims Pentagon backtracking on UFO evidence. Now, personally, I think there's nothing to this, and I think this is the root cause of the problem here. I'll explain why.
So what do you think of this speculation that some of your witnesses are getting spooked?
That's true. We had one.
So it's speculation that some of the witnesses are getting spooked. So I don't quite know whether this lawmaker says military blocked them from UFO evidence. It's speculation.
Tell us that the Pentagon had made some inquiries and they were backing out. NASA backed out on us, but we do have three strong witnesses, decorated veterans, pilots, and these are
meaningless, of course.
First-hand accounts. This isn't somebody who's, well, my third cousin saw this.
Well, on the left-hand side, we've got David Grush. We know his story. He's told us that he's got no first-hand experience with it. We've heard David Fravor's story and Ryan Graves' story. Now, I can't remember which one showed the Tic Tac, the video of the Tic Tac, but it also showed on the head-up display from the aircraft all the right numbers that you would need to do a very simple bit of trigonometry to tell how high the Tic Tac was off the ground and how fast it was moving. And it turned out to be a high, slow-moving object, a balloon. It's probably lighter than air surveillance vehicle launched from a submarine. Favor said there was a large object just below the surface, lots of roiling water, so the submarine had probably just released this thing and just dived, was just diving, and they came across it at 13,800 feet. None of these people have a tangible evidence of extraterrestrial visitation. And the people that are dropping out, I strongly suspect, are people that have been peddling the science fiction nonsense for years, if not decades, telling anyone that will listen, including the reporters that are churning all this bloody nonsense out, that they have been working on recovered alien spacecraft, crashed alien space vehicles that have been recovered, and they're doing all this secret research work on them. I strongly suspect these are the people that are going to be dropping out, because it's okay telling everybody under the sun that you're doing all this stuff. It's a completely different kettle of fish telling Congress that under oath and having to provide tangible evidence of what you're doing. So I think a lot of these people, they're saying, oh yeah, we've just like Bob Lazar, been working on this recovered alien spacecraft, on the propulsion system or whatever it might be. And then suddenly Congress says, let's find out if this is real. We're going to release everybody from their special access program oaths. Just come and tell us if this is real. We want to know if it's going on. We want to know where it's going on. We want to see tangible evidence that this is what you are in fact doing. And suddenly they're all running away and hiding under the table because none of it is real. And Senator Burchett is going to say something really disappointing in a minute.
Fly over the trailer park. This is real. I mean,
these red hot witnesses here are meaningless. It's completely and utterly pointless. Meaningless. We've heard all their stories. We're going to hear the same stories again as they stand in front of Congress and tell them. What they're not doing is providing any tangible evidence that any of this is extraterrestrial.
Pictures of them right there. And so I'm anxious to get them before the committee sworn in and answering some serious questions.
Pointless. Absolutely pointless.
Now listen, I know that you're not looking to waste your time there and you don't want to be in Congress for the rest of your life. And I respect that pursuit and that lack of ambition, frankly. However, the reason we need you is because NASA can tell me it's going to take a pass. But they shouldn't be able to tell you they're going to take a pass.
And I think NASA have taken a pass because they don't. NASA have said they know they have no knowledge of any extraterrestrial vehicles coming here. They don't know anything about any recovered alien spacecraft. So what's the point of them testifying? You know, that's all the testimony you need from NASA, isn't it? They're not going to waste their time with this.
If the Pentagon wants to talk to one of your witnesses and that has a chilling effect, can't you insist by subpoena that they come in and explain why? And why aren't you doing that?
Yes, sir, we can. I just don't have the time to fool with all that nonsense right now. I've got 3 dynamite witnesses that...
Yeah, so he's not going to fall with subpoenas to get people that have been telling people that they've been telling everyone they've been working on the alien spacecraft. He doesn't want to work on subpoenas to get them in front of Congress to actually find out if this is real, because he's got dynamite witnesses there. And unfortunately, his dynamite witnesses are not worth a carrot. You know, I don't know. How could he not see this? He seems like a bit of a fanboy here. Maybe that's what it's all about, you know. Maybe he's a bit of a fanboy, and he knows that by just presenting these dynamite witnesses and not subpoenaing the people that have been spreading all this rubbish for years, if not decades, it gives the UFO fanboys a get-out-of-jail-free card, doesn't it? Now is the opportunity to subpoena these people. Get them in front of Congress. Ask them under oath, you know, where are you working on these recovered alien spacecraft? What is your reporting line? What's your chain of command? Show us where you're doing this. Where does the money come from for your project? Okay, show us some samples from these recovered ET spacecraft. Take us and show us one of the spacecraft. We would love to see it. You know, if you've got any recovered technological or biological extraterrestrial materials, provide samples of those materials for peer review to academia, for peer review. Let's get to the bottom of it. If you want to get to the bottom of it, get to the bottom of it. Don't fluff around like this. This is completely ridiculous. I don't honestly know what this guy is expecting to achieve just by having David Grush standing in front of Congress saying I've got no first-hand experience of this, even though I've got all these clearances for these 4,000 special access programs, and I was part of the UAP task force. I've never had any first-hand experience with ET materials. That should tell you there and then that it's all nonsense. He gave his story to Dr. Fitzpatrick, I think it is, who's running Arrow at the moment. And Fitzpatrick thought it wasn't even worth following up. That's how much credibility Dr. Fitzpatrick thought Grush had. And that's one of his star witnesses. This is all complete and utter nonsense. This is not the way to do it. And you would think these people would know better. He should certainly take the time and trouble to organise the subpoenas for the people that say they've got first-hand experience of working on this material, that can provide samples of these ET materials. Otherwise, it's all science fiction. It's nonsense. But these people are now running away. They're saying, oh, yeah, we'd love to appear, but we can't. We're being pressured, you know. And, of course, they're not. They just don't want to repeat their science fiction bloody rubbish in front of Congress under oath, where they could get in serious trouble for doing that.
They have impeccable credentials, and I want to get them
meaningless
before the committee. And they're patriotic Americans, and I'm
meaningless.
Tired of the nonsense. You know, we were denied. You know, the committee almost. We had problems with getting people in, the room, just you name it. Everything, they've thrown roadblocks. If this was the in the Baptist church, we'd say the devil didn't want us in there, and they just
red flag.
keep throwing up roadblocks. Yet we're going to have a full committee. I mean, we're going to have a committee, and it's going to be a bipartisan thing. It's going to be dynamite. And
Yeah, and without subpoenaing the people that say they've actually worked on this stuff, that's recovered alien material, they're working on these ongoing projects, without subpoenaing them and subpoenaing materials, this is completely and utterly worthless. It's completely and utterly pointless. I think that's enough, really. This is going to go nowhere. I'll make a bold prediction. This is going to go absolutely nowhere. There's certainly not going to be any ET disclosure. And the fact that all the people that have been spreading all the science fiction stories for years are running away and hiding and refusing to appear, I think tells us that there really is nothing to any of this. Just a quick one. I just felt sort of I should make a video. I've seen this Senator Burchett saying a very similar thing yesterday, I think on a different channel, about his red hot dynamite witnesses, and it's all complete and utter rubbish. It's a complete waste of time. If there's no one there that's got any tangible evidence, they should subpoena people who have. And if those people do get subpoenaed and they go up there and they can't produce anything because this material's never existed, then this should be put to bed once and for all. This bloody ET rubbish. They should just say, okay, so what? None of it's real. You can't produce any material. You can't show us any pictures, any documentation from these projects. You can't provide sample materials for academia. None of this is real, is it? And what would they say? What could they say to that? That's why they're all running away and hiding under the table, because it's all science fiction nonsense. Okay, thanks for watching. Maybe I'll catch you again.